What's going on? I want to bring you guys the story of Bryce Gowdy. He was 17 years old, ended up killing himself. His mother is going to explain how she was on the streets, homeless, and how they dealt with it and how he finally broke. I always say the hardest time in life is like 17 to 24 because at that time you're unsure of yourself, you're sad, especially this particular case is much stress and drama as they were going through. I want to bring my homegirl Shay Shay on because Shay Shay, I know you've been through a lot. I know you've been through. You know this story all too well, and you know the stress and pain. Not as much as she's going through, but you haven't been through exactly what she's going through. But you know the stress and pain of poverty. What first explain? Let everybody know who you are and what you've been through, and what she could be possibly going through. Well, wait, but before you do, I want people to hear her story. Before you come on, Shay Shay, I want you guys to hear what she said.
After he talked to his dad, before he talked to his dad, he was just talking for a few days, just talking about, just in circles, just talking about life, about the things that we were going through as a family over the last couple of months being homeless, the things that he had to see me go through because we were homeless. But after he talked to his dad, he started getting paranoid. Like, he asked him to walk across the street to get me a ginger ale, and he was paranoid. Started talking about not being trapped by doors and mirrors.
Yeah, was he taking something?
So this morning when he disappeared, I texted his dad, and I was like, I wish you would disappear from our lives forever.
Yeah.
In that moment, I knew something was wrong with my baby. And I cried myself to sleep. I woke up 7 o'clock this morning. That was at like 4:30. I woke up at 7 o'clock this morning, still no Bryce. I started calling everybody. Nobody heard from him, no friends, nobody heard from him. I called my brother, and my brother said he was going to start making phone calls. My brother called me back, and he said there was a report that somebody got hit by a train at 4 in the morning. In my heart, I knew it was my baby. I called the hospital. They wouldn't give me any information on the phone, so I went to the hospital, and I couldn't stop crying because I knew it was my baby. I knew it. Brayden kept telling me he wouldn't do something like that, but he hasn't ever acted like how he's been acting for the last 3 days.
It's terrible.
Finally, the nurse walked up to us with a piece of paper in his hand and said, "This is the number of the detective. We ID'd the body, and it's Bryce Gowdy. My baby walked in front of a train and killed himself."
Shay Shay, what's going on? Introduce yourself. And everybody, we always talk about check on your people. And there was a lot of people sharing this video saying check on your people, check on your people. But do we really? Do family look out for each other? One thing she said, like the uncle released a statement saying, "Oh, I'm so sad, this, that, and the other." But how was your sister's child homeless? You know what I'm saying? I mean, do we look out for family? Do we look out? Are we there for our friends? Shay Shay, please.
That's why when people say to you stuff like, when they be like, "Just call me if you need anything," that's not always true. That is so not always true, because I have been there so many times needing family, just like with her situation, kind of a year ago, we was in the car. Water frozen, solid. I've never seen water freeze in the mid-air. We eating in the car. I cried because I have to sit in the car and just sit there and let the kids watch my phone so they can have something to do. But this is where we're sitting, and I had to put a blanket over the car just so it wouldn't shine over on the other people's house late at night. You know what I'm saying? So people are not always there for you. People always say, well, why you didn't tell me? You wasn't going to help me anyway. We had to figure this out. You know, I still have pictures of us in the car. My child sleep in the car because this is the only heat that we have. And lights, nobody is caring. Nobody is caring. And it do become hard. That is so bad if that baby was going through that. Because my son, I ain't going to say which one, I have 3, you know, just was talking about suicide. That he be having them thoughts. I think about it every day because now it's like, how do you talk to them? What do you say to your child? Like, what do you go up to them and say to them? Like, honestly, because it's like, dang, what's on you so heavy that you thinking about suicide?
I say that all the time. At that age 17.
I don't.
Go ahead.
No, you say he's 17. What you was about to say?
He was 17. Now, he had a full ride scholarship to Georgia Tech, but man, living out your car, not eating, you know, seeing your mom go through hell and back. That's the hardest age. From 17 to 24, I mean, you unsure yourself, you unsure your future, you broke, you struggling, your emotions are all over the place. You just really ready to give up. It takes a strong person. And like they say, the average, Bushwick Bill said this, he said the average brother would have quit a long time ago. And
very true.
We got to talk about suicide because, man, it's depression. And it's real, and I see you post a lot of stuff like that all the time.
Because at that time when my lights was off, I was thinking about suicide. This was only like a year or 2 ago. I really was. I really was laying in that bed at 2 something in the morning, just thinking, what am I here for? What am I still doing here? Because I'm having such a hard time, and when you trying, it becomes hard when you steady trying by yourself. People always tell you to just be strong, just hang in there. I've been hanging in there all my life. Sometimes you break. Sometimes life happens and I'm grown. And yes, I was just recently thinking about suicide. And it was because of the dude from Chicago Heights. I just inboxed him. I don't know if I told you that. But I told him it was his story that I was listening to. Remember that dude I was telling you that could rap? And I was like, I liked his rap, and he seemed real. He was from Chicago Heights at that time, and you know what I'm saying? He just was speaking a lot of positive stuff, and that's what made me just start thinking better again. And I just inboxed him and told him I appreciate everything that you were saying, because I was on the verge of like, oh, I don't even want to be here no more. Ain't nobody helping us. We over here struggling. My babies is crying because it's so cold in this house. Then we got to walk to the bus stop, and it's freezing outside at 7 something in the morning. That was hard. That was really, really mentally hard. And if you're not strong, you will fall. You will break. I thought about it some months ago. Ain't that crazy to even say that? But it's the truth, though. I mean, hey, it's time to just tell. So some people need these conversations. That woman is crying. Those are real tears, man. I just really wish I could hug her, and I'm so serious I do. Even though hugs ain't always, you know what I'm saying, but I just really want to hug her because I'm just glad that my son, and hopefully he don't think about it and like carry it out. Because that was hard to see that letter that he wrote, like, dang, you really wrote this. You really be thinking about this. That's a lot.
That's
a lot.
It is a lot, and especially to see these kids. As a mother, I mean, what do you say to these kids? Because in her story, she's going to say how she was able to get a hotel room, but she was in the car all day with them. 17, that's, you know, and you was always telling me, and I've seen stuff on social media about women being way more stronger than men, about women are strong because they have to be. And you tell me all the time, sometimes you just want to be the one that's, you know what I'm saying? Because Shay, you are the strong one, the glue for everyone, and you have to keep it together as a mother, as a friend. And I look to you to be strong for me. When I go through stuff, I call you. Like, damn, here's what I'm going through, and I need you to be strong. But we don't realize sometimes you need us to be strong for you. Go ahead.
Seriously, and that's very, very true. I get called. I always tell people like I'm Dr. Phil. I am not Dr. Phil. I don't have the answers, but I appreciate that people feel comfortable talking to me about stuff. But sometimes I need to vent. Sometimes I need to cry. Sometimes I need to be told it's going to be okay because I get tired too. You just get tired in life. You get tired of trying to keep it together and holding it together for everybody. And when you going through your own stuff, kids, just life, bills, everything. The job's not paying enough. You're struggling. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. You can't even sleep at night because you constantly thinking about what you're going to eat, how you going to wash. I still need soap. I still need this, that, this. It's like it never ends. It never ends. And then you lose your job. And now you're homeless.
And it's so many people. Say it again.
No, I just said bills start piling up, things get cut off, all type of stuff. I told you we'll talk about it. Look, got me crying a little bit. God damn it, I wasn't trying to do this. And I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry I talked a little bit, but I'm serious.
You know what? And it's heartbreaking that so many people are going through this. And I've seen a lot of people repost this, talking about check on your people. But do we really?
Check on our people. No, you don't. No, people don't. No, they don't. I know for a fact that people don't do that. They really don't. And if they do, it's not really, to me, genuine like that. It was just, I was just calling saying, that's not what I needed right now, especially if I called you and I needed to talk to you and then you cut me off and start talking about something else. It's like, how you know I didn't need you right now? I might needed to vent to you about this and now you just cut me off. And it's like, you're not really there for me. You're not really listening to what I'm saying. You're not. And people don't check on you like they say they do, Donald. You know that. They really don't. They really don't. They don't know until you're 6 feet deep or land somewhere in the hospital because depression done kicked in so goddamn hard, you don't even know how to turn it off now. The only thing you can think about is offing yourself. Like, why am I still here? I just was saying that. Like, I didn't even understand. What am I still doing here? I don't even understand. Keep struggling. I don't want to keep struggling. I don't want to keep going through. I'm tired of this happening. And it's just me and my kids just going through this. Me and my kids going through this. That's hard. I told you when I first moved in this house last year, we didn't have not a couch, not a TV, not a radio, not a nothing. Nothing. Not a phone, no nothing. We was just in this house sleeping on the floor. That's why I told you that song by Roddy Ricch, Down Below. I like that song because that's real. That's kind of my life. I remember the cold nights sleeping on the floor. All of that. That stuff is real. My eye is burning, y'all. I'm not crying.
So many people go through it, and so many, because something else. Now I want to talk some real stuff. I hate to sugarcoat stuff, this, that, and the other. But you see so many people on holidays spending thousands like it's growing trees. You go to the mall and people spending thousands, and there's people sleeping in their car. We buying toys. These kids today got so many toys, they just open it up, throw it. Open it up, throw it.
Yeah.
We wasting money and spending it like it growing trees, and we got family members, friends that don't even have food to eat. And we're going buying steak, lobster. We going to trips, and we going doing this, and we got friends that don't even have it.
Exactly. When you got people that say stuff like, well, that's their money, which is very true. They went to work for it. We all understand that. We get that. We know that they went to that 9 to 5, but it's okay to say, you know what? It's not about me right now. They need a little bit of help. She needs a little bit of help. Let me go check on them. It's okay to do that. You don't have to be, because I went and worked for it, so now I can splurge how I want to, but now when this person is 6 feet deep or some stuff like that, now you want to be crying. Now you want to be looking crazy. Oh, I wish I could. I wish I would have. You should have just did it. Just did it, like without no thinking about it. Like when you see somebody hurt, even my struggle, I'm struggling, but I promise you, I still give. I don't care if I'm at a store. I just bought the little boy stuff from the store. He didn't even have enough money. And I'm like, y'all really mean to tell me y'all not going to get this baby his chips and stuff. He done walked up here to get some chips and stuff. I couldn't let that baby walk out that store without these cookies and stuff. He wanted them cookies. That's why he came up there. So I'm going to help him, even though I don't have it. You know what I mean? But it's okay to be like that, man. It's so okay to do that it's not even funny. People just don't like helping people until it's too late. That's when they really want to get involved. Now you want to have a pity party for somebody, want somebody to have a pity party for you. Don't nobody, no. Don't, I was about to cuss. I had to catch myself. I really did.
You could cuss, but and so much, can people do, should people do. I say a lot of times we move out of our community, and so we don't even know our neighbors. We don't know our people around us at all. And this is why I'm such a big advocate of staying in the community you grew up in, around family, and not moving away from family and friends, because people need people. You need your family. You need your friends, and we must be there for family and friends. Because, man, people can't break. People can't break.
It's like it's bad that even when family know your story and they still ain't trying to help you. They don't really care. It's not really, you know what I'm saying? They blame it on you. You shouldn't have had all them kids. Or it's always something, instead of just saying, how can we make this better? What can I do to help? If you get a job and I ain't working these hours, I can possibly pick you up. Anything. I'm off today. Do you need me? You know what I'm saying? But people don't look at life like that. It's just, it's you. You're struggling. You'll be all right. You'll get it. It's always you. That's why I say, now that I am older, I see why people went to support groups and stuff like that. I said that years ago, because you do need support groups. You do need people that's really listening to you and understanding where you're coming from versus people that's just in your life, girl, you'll be all right. You'll be strong. You just got to stay strong. That's easier said than done sometimes.
All right, so this is his GoFundMe page for those of you guys watching. This GoFundMe page is Bryce Gowdy family. It says, with great sadness, the family of Bryce Gowdy confirms that he has passed away. We are overwhelmed with support. We care. Everyone has shown us spirit that lives within everyone he has touched. We are in great need of assistance of paying all the funeral costs, stuff like that, And she's raised over $85,000, which is cool. However, she's still homeless.
Yeah, and look like people, man, that's why I say this, wow. I just hope something good come out of this for her and her other kids. That's the only thing I can say, because it's nothing too much you can say with a grieving mother like that. Because even when my son got shot last year in October, I still think about this. All the stuff we was going through, even being homeless last year, sleeping on a made-up, put-together couch in the living room. You know what I mean? That was hard to hear that he got shot, because it's like, how do you prepare for something like this? How do you prepare for a funeral? How do you prepare? You can't even really say too much to a grieving mother. It's nothing you really can say, but let them go through it. Hug them, kiss them, definitely all of that. Don't get me wrong, but she's going to have to go through that, man. And she's going to have to, it's just, I just don't even know. Because like I said, with my child telling me that about a month or so ago and showing me that letter about suicide, and it's just like he's really feeling this. What do you do? How do you talk to them? What do you suppose to say? Because didn't she say that she was talking to him a lot?
She said she was talking to him in the car. I could play that again. I really want to play that again.
Yeah. Because that's why when she said, she was like, we was talking a lot. And it's just like, you be thinking everything is all right because we laughing, we vibing, but not knowing that this person is really hurting in the inside. Like, you can put on all of that. You can laugh, you can hee ha ha all day long, but you're not really knowing that this person is really messed up in the inside. That is really bad, because that's why I say, how do you get through to your child then? How do you get them to look at life differently? And how do you do that? And I'm being honest. That's like something, because just because I'm a parent, I don't know how to do that.
Right, and everybody looks to you to be strong, especially the mother. I'm gonna play. Hold on, I'm gonna play a little bit.
He can see people for who they really are. The world for what it he was seeing all over the place. And that he could see the world for what it really was. He kept saying that he could see people for who they really are. He was happy though. He was talking about his future.
You understand how she said he was happy? He was talking about his future. So how do you even detect that they are really going through something?
To church attack. And we were having a lot of spiritual conversations. He had a lot of questions. He had a lot of questions about spirituality and life. He kept asking me if I was okay or if his brothers were gonna be okay. And I kept telling him, yeah, all day. We sat in the car yesterday because we didn't have anywhere to go. And he sat next to me all day just talking. And I was stressed out. I was too stressed to really deal with it. And I kept telling him I had just started my period. We were on the streets again, homeless. The little job I got wasn't paying me all my money on time or in full. And I was so stressed out about taking care of my kids. Around 10 o'clock last night, I finally got us a hotel room. But we still had to wait for Brayden to finish working. We were parked behind Brayden's job waiting for him to finish working. And I told him, I said, Brayden, Bryce, you have to dig within and fight these demons that you're fighting. I was told him like I wasn't strong enough to help him right now. That I had my own demons that I was trying to fight. He was stressing me out so much that I started getting chest pains. When we got to the hotel and the two older boys went upstairs and left me in the car, and I was just trying to decompress because the whole day Bryce was just going.
That's a lot.
Bryce came back downstairs.
You still gotta be strong for them other kids. Still gotta be. It's like you don't even have a choice. You can't just say, okay, I'm just not gonna be a mother to the rest of the kids now.
So one of the things she was saying is that he tried to hold her hand and she just couldn't deal with that negative energy, what she was saying at the time. And she was going through her own demons and she just couldn't be there at the time. It was overwhelming. And so often kids, you look to your mother as being just that strong iron, but sometimes it's too much and they break and they can't do it all and can't be there.
Yeah. I just was telling somebody that yesterday. I said I be wanting to do things because it's like when you get frustrated, you tend to get mad at your kids. Your kids don't understand. You don't mean to do it, because I have done that in the past. I have had to apologize literally the next day because I done said something that I should have never said. You know, I mean, I'm angry, I'm irritated, and I feel it. Even just now, I feel it in myself, being angry, irritated, all of that. And sometimes you don't know how people, once again, they think because you are a parent, you're an adult, that you know everything in this world. They act like you don't break. They act like you have the answer to everything. If that was the case, I wouldn't be in my position. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know everything. I wasn't taught with a handbook. We don't get handbooks. We don't get none of that. You just go through life and you living and you taking pain after pain, but you got to keep being strong because you got kids depending on you, so you can't show no signs of weakness and all of this other extra stuff. But it's like it comes at times where what she said, you break, you irritated. My son tried to touch me and I pushed away from him. I just told somebody this the other night. He just recently tried to do that, and I pushed away from him. And he was like, dang, Ma, why you know what I'm saying? It's just irritation, frustration, and that is so freaking true, Donald. I promise you, I just literally said this the other night. I just told her how I pushed away from him. I did. Like, get up off of me. You know what I'm saying? It's just angry, irritated, all of that. It's just true. And you don't know how to deal with your own stuff sometimes. You just don't. You don't. As a parent, she was like, I've never heard a mother say that. She was like, dang. And I was just like, I know. I said, it's just the truth. I don't know how to sugarcoat stuff. I can't help how I'm feeling. I'm going through some stuff. You know, even when my son was like, Ma, you changing? Yeah, I might be. I'm irritated. I feel like I be evil sometimes. You right. You absolutely right. I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to say, oh, no, I'm not. No, I am, because I feel it. I'm irritated as
And you know, and it's so hard for those kids because they don't know that their lives are about to change for the better. When you're 17, his life was about to change for the best. And at that age, you're so confused, so stressed, so hurt, and you just don't know how to handle it. So many teens, you know, take that route, and it's more prevalent than we'll ever know.
But why do you think that is? When you was a teenager, and me just thinking, I didn't feel like that, Donald. I'm not saying this society, because I know society changed. I'm just trying to see, and like you said, though, you be trying to find yourself. Yes, that's understandable, but is it that bad that y'all would want to off yourself? I'm trying to understand. I asked somebody before, a young teenager, like, what's so bad in your life that you ain't got no bills? I mean, what, you got boyfriend problems? You got school problems? I mean, I don't know. I'm really trying to understand, what is it that you really going through? Because you ain't began life yet. Life ain't really began for you yet.
So this is from Florida, you guys. I know somebody asked, is this Chicago? No, this is Florida. Once you're that age, I remember feeling that pain. You're unsure of your future. Are you ever going to get out of this situation, especially when you're poor? Are you ever going to be able to eat good, live good? Are you going to have a life, a family, friends? It is just a very hard.
But Donald, can I say this? As me being 40 years old, I still think about that literally. I told you that that's one of my biggest fears of passing, and I'm not nowhere where I wanted to be. And I just asked my girl, I said, damn, am I going to die lonely? Am I going to die by myself, like with no man? Like, I think about that all the time. So it's not just a teenage thing. It's not. You know what I'm saying? I'm grown as ever, and that is a worry on me. Am I going to ever get out of this situation no matter how much I push, drive, helping, jobs, trying to do this? It's like I'm still struggling, and it's like it becomes a point like, God, am I going to live like this for the rest of my life? I used to say years ago, if you could ask God or get your life read to you, I told somebody, I said I would, if they told me I was going to live like this for the rest of my life, I don't want to be here. Because it's tiring struggling. I'm sorry, that's just my thing. You know what I'm saying? It's tiring struggling. I want a peace of mind. I don't want to wake up every day thinking about what we're going to do, how we're going to eat. Blah, blah, blah. I just don't want to do that every day, all day of my life. So I get what you're saying. You know, I get it. I really do get it, but again, you have to be strong and just keep pushing through. You definitely do. But you also need people that you can cry to. You also need people that you can talk to. You just do. Because it's gonna break you.
And we say that, right, and we say that all the time. It's, you know, for those of you guys that are out there, people that's watching this who may struggle with depression, you know, there is people that you can talk to, professionals that you can call, but you need some family, you need friends to be able to vent to. And that's why people do go to support groups, people that's going through the same thing that you can just vent to and let it out. A lot of people say you need counselors, but sometimes if you can't have the time or the money to go to a counselor, you need friends to be there just to talk to, because if you keep it bottled up, it'll come out in anger, and you angry.
In the wrong way. It would definitely come out in the wrong way. That's why I said I'd be angry with my kids, and I have to stop doing that, because it's coming out in the wrong ways and on the wrong people that I don't want it to do that. I just don't. So somebody just told me that he was gonna actually pay for a session for me, because he was like, you need some counseling. He was like, you need to talk to somebody, because I do. I be feeling like that too. I used to think that stuff was kind of crazy when he was a kid. Like, girl, you want to see a what? But now you get older and life hits you. Yep, I need to be right there. I do. For real, because this world is strong out here. It's strong.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you, Shay, for coming on and giving, you know what I'm saying, something that parent goes through. Somebody, I mean, that just struggle, that hardship, and that, you know what I'm saying, and when you're seeing your kids go through it, it's gotta be heart-wrenching.
That's even real quick, even when I was in the hospital and you came up there to see me. And remember I was telling you how nobody came up there. My kids was there at the house by themselves. And he was 15 at the time. And he was saying how hard that was. I spent 21 days in that hospital being pregnant because my water broke. You know what I'm saying? You remember that. And I had a nervous breakdown in that because I couldn't get nobody to go check on my kids. I couldn't get nobody to actually stay there with them, feed them, make sure they got off to school. My son was on the phone crying to me, just kept saying, Mama, I need you to come home. You know how much that broke me down in the hospital? That's why I cried like that. Nurse was like, are you okay? All I can say is no. No, I feel like I'm having a nervous breakdown. I felt like I wanted to jump out that window at the time. That's why I looked over at the window like, oh my God, because my kids is over here by themselves. I'm teaching him how to cook steak literally over the phone for them to eat. You know, so definitely people don't always be there. Even when people knew I was going through that, I didn't have nobody there for my kids. I didn't have nobody, you know, the nurses was bringing me hair stuff, bringing me stuff to eat and stuff like that, you know, because nobody was there for me. So it is overwhelming with these kids when they doing things and they at a young age, you can't put a lot on them. But again, my son, he did his thing. Even though he was hard, he was crying and saying he was tired because he's 15. He has 3 siblings to take care of. He's not old enough for that.
And that's
he wasn't.
With this young brother that, you know, his uncle was saying he was the man of the house, this, that, and the other, and he had to grow up quick.
Yep. You know? And that's true, and that's why I don't, man, it's just a lot. Jesus, it is. It's definitely a lot. It is. And like I say, people do not always be there for you like they say they are. That is so not true.
Okay, anyway, thank you, Shay, for coming on. You guys that are watching this, make sure you go to My Life in the Size YouTube channel. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. Is there anything else you want to say before I get out of here, Shay?
No, I appreciate it. I enjoyed this. This is something new to me, though.
And what we do want to say is not only just talk about it on social media, check on your people, but actually check on your people. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this video. Peace.